So former President Trump is set to speak at a key conservative conference this weekend. A source confirms to CNN that in his speech, Trump will repeat one of his favorite lies, that he didn't really lose the presidency, even though Joe Biden got 7 million more votes than Trump. Joining us now are CNN political commentators Alice, Stewart, and S.E. Cupp. Ladies, great to see you.
Morning, Alisyn.
So CPAC sounds like it's going to be a doozy, S.E., this year. Trump is going to, reemerge. And it sounds like it's going to be quite the Trumpapalooza. He might even announce his future political plans. You've talked about how CPAC has gotten weirder over the years. What do you expect this year?
Well, frankly, it feels like they should just rename it TPAC. It's the Trump Conservative Political Action, conference. It's not really about conservatism anymore. I looked at the agenda. I looked at the speakers, and gone are a lot of the old traditional, panels on fiscal responsibility and lowering the debt and deficit. Now, that's not surprising. Trump didn't really care about those things, so it'd be really weird and awkward to have those on the agenda with him coming. But in the years that I went to CPAC and going back to its, founding in the 70s, it was really this big tent event. You had your Ron Pauleys over in one spot. You had the deficit hawks. You had maybe the Federalist Society, the movement conservatives, the Ralph Reeds sort of, religious right. And we all didn't agree on everything. And you'd have the straw polls and people would be voting for their disparate candidates. But you were sort of loosely united around some founding principles. And now the founding principle around which the people at CPAC are united is just Trump. In fact, to the exclusion of other conservatives who might not be defending and supporting him. So it's become a very small tent where really the fringiest elements, the Trump cult, the conspiracy theorists, maybe the right, the white nationalists, those are the people inside and everyone else is outside.
Alice, you were Ted Cruz's communications director. Doesn't a weekend like this, isn't it frustrating for Ted Cruz in waiting for what President Trump is going to decide about his political future and how it colors his own presidential run, if Ted Cruz is still considering that for next time, or Tom Cotton or Nikki Haley? I mean, their futures are now so tied to the whims of President Trump.
A lot of people, I'm sure, are feeling that way, Alisyn, and this will be dangled out there as red meat for the base, I would imagine, for the next 2 to 3 years. And I expect that's what we will hear from the former president Sunday when he speaks to CPAC. And I agree with S.E. on a lot of the points she made about CPAC. The founding principles of the group is about conservatism, the Constitution, limited government, and fiscal responsibility. And that is what got them going. But over the years, it has become a lot more about bedazzled jackets and men in their patriotic costumes. But the important thing to keep in mind, these are solid Republicans. It's a big, huge part of the Republican base, now President Trump's base. And they do have an important role moving forward in terms of keeping Republicans on board and keeping people motivated. One of the things I remember from CPAC, I got a huge poster of Ronald Reagan. I have it in my office in here on my wall. And he was a big factor in CPAC. And I wish we could get back to more of that, because Ronald Reagan spent every single day building converts. And unfortunately, Donald Trump makes enemies. Ronald Reagan spent every day building the Republican Party. Unfortunately, Trump spends a lot of time tearing it down. And Ronald Reagan was much more secure in who he was. Unfortunately, Donald Trump is a little bit more about his own ego. So it would be helpful if CPAC and the party could get more of the Gipper and less of the Trumper moving forward, because as a Republican, quite frankly, I'm tired of not winning. And that was a big promise from Donald Trump, is winning. And we've lost the House, the Senate, and the White House under his leadership. And we need to take the policies that unite us and make us strong and move forward with that, with a lot less of the tone and tenor that we have under the former president.
You didn't see Ronald Reagan in a bedazzled jacket. Alice, while I have you quickly, what did you think of Ted Cruz's trip to Mexico? I mean, I'm only asking because you know him so well. What was that about?
It was a huge mistake, and he recognizes it. Alisyn, I was shocked when I heard that he had done that, because it's really, honestly, it's not like him. He, as part of being an elected official, he does enjoy the part of being accountable to his constituents. After Hurricane Harvey, he rolled up his sleeves and helped them in the sweltering heat with water and helping with their homes and their businesses. So I was really surprised that he did that. He obviously recognized that. He got on the first plane back and came back and got to work to help out his constituents. But I will say this, he is a good man that made a bad decision, and he's going to be working really hard to make up for that. And I hope that the people of Texas understand that and let him make amends on that.
Yeah, I mean, he recognized it after he was busted. I just want to add that
Right.
proviso there. So how about that Mitch McConnell, S.E.? So Mitch McConnell, who you know, after the impeachment, said that Trump was responsible for what happened on January 6th. He said it had been a disgraceful dereliction of duty, and that he provoked the murderous mob. Then yesterday, last night, he said this about Donald Trump.
If the president was the party's nominee, would you support him?
The nominee of the party? Absolutely.
He wants a disgrace to be the nominee of the party? Or he would support a disgrace? What is that, S.E.?
Yeah, I think this is a really good sort of cautionary tale to folks watching the machinations of the Republican Party, including those of us in the media. And I remember just last week, the Mitch McConnell-Donald Trump feud was described by many as this battle over the soul, for the soul of the Republican Party. And let me tell you, it is not much of a battle. Just look at the CPAC rundown. Just listen to Mitch McConnell turn tail. Trump has already won this battle. The Republican Party knows exactly who it is and where it wants to go right now. There's no imaginary battle. Trump is its leader. Mitch McConnell still knows that. And we have to take these people at their word and look at their actions and deeds and the people that they're promoting and the people they're trying to exclude. Look at the Marjorie Taylor Greenes and then look at the Liz Cheneys. This is where Republicans want to go, and it looks, by all accounts, like they will get to.
Alice Stewart, S.E. Cupp, we always appreciate getting both your perspectives. Thank you very much.